So in today's session, we are going to discuss about profiles. What exactly a profile? What is the use of profiles? What a profile can do? What kind of features we can able to enable inside the profile? How can we restrict the visibility of the access from the Salesforce application for the users? We'll see practically today. So in the previous session already you are aware of that. We have discussed about a bit information about these profiles. What exactly a profile and how to create the profiles, everything we have discussed. Now what exactly a profile basically here? When coming to the profile is nothing but a container. Profile is nothing but a container which contains a set of permissions to be get assigned to one or more users. I'm having my Salesforce application and I'm having my users. In my Salesforce application, I have created some custom applications. I'm having some standard applications. I'm having some custom objects. Everything is there. And I'm having some set of users as well inside my organization. Now, I want to make all the features of my Salesforce application to be get visible to for some users. And a few users can able to access only one application. Few users can able to perform only some operations inside that object. And for a few users, I want to grant the access on only some custom objects, not on all the custom objects available in my organization. So now in this kind of scenario, if you want to grant the different access or the visibility to the users on your Salesforce application, then we have to use profiles. Basically, profile is acting as a mediator between the Salesforce application and the users. Whenever the user is trying to be performing some operation, first of all, the request will be going to the first.com platform, and the first.com platform will verify whether this user is an authenticated user or not, and the organization ID and the user ID which has been comes along with that request, whether it is a valid organization ID and the user ID or not. If it is valid, then it will be looking into the profile. It will be looking into the profile. So what kind of permissions this user have inside that Salesforce application? And based on that permissions available inside the profile, this first.com platform will be performing the operations inside that. Simply in one sentence, we can say profile decides what operations the user can perform inside the Salesforce application. Whenever if you want to perform any operation inside the Salesforce application, like as to access some custom application, to access some standard application, and to access some objects, it may be standard, it may be custom, and to create some records, to modify some records, to delete some records, to view some records. If you need any permission, then compulsory we should be configuring the permissions inside the profile itself. The profile will decides, okay, the profile will decides what operations the user can perform inside my Salesforce application. Now, now when coming to the Salesforce, we are having so many features are there, and every feature we can able to grant the visibility with the help of this profile itself. Now, let's see here. When coming to the profile, so now profile is nothing but a container. Is a container which contains a set of permissions to be get assigned to one or more users. So now in your organization, if only one user is available, then no need to configure any security settings because he is the owner. So he will be having the full control so that he can able to access everything. But if there is any multiple users are there, then how can we protect the visibility of the records? So now for that, we are going to be introducing these profiles here. When coming to the profile is a container which contains a set of permissions to be get assigned to one or more users. Now, so now when coming to my organization, I'm having so many users are available. Like some sales people are there, some marketing people are there, and some service people are also there inside my organization. And I'm having some customers also. So now for the sales people, whatever the features to be get required, only those features I would like to make it visible. For the marketing people, whatever the features inside my application is required, only those features to be get visible. Other features and other applications they cannot able to access. For the service people, whatever the features are required, only those features I would like to make it exposed. The remaining features they cannot able to access. For the customers, my customers, what they can do, they can able to raise some complaints also. Okay, they can able to raise some complaints so that whatever the complaint registration forms are there, whatever the cases and the solution objects are there, and the knowledge base is there, only those features they can able to access. Nothing but what happened when coming to my organization, I'm having so many features are there inside my Salesforce application, and I'm having some set of users are also available. So that depends upon the user role, depends upon the user type. I want to make only few features to be get accessible. And along with that, I have a system administrator. System administrator can able to access everything. So nothing but here for the system administrator, I want to grant the whole features, the whole full control on my Salesforce organization. And sales people can able to access only some applications. Service people can able to access only some application. Marketing people can able to access only some applications. Like that here, whatever the applications that we have inside your Salesforce organization, the whole applications we can able to grant the visibility to those users. Depends upon the users we can able to grant the visibility on those applications. So now for that here, in order to grant the visibility on your Salesforce applications to the users, we have to use a mediator component called as profiles. So now when coming to the profile, whenever you are going to be creating a user, we have to assign a profile. Every user should be associated with a profile. Every user should be associated with a profile. Without assigning the profile, we cannot able to create the users inside that Salesforce. But while creating the user, we can able to assign only one profile. Nothing but one user can be associated with only one profile, not multiple. Nothing but user to profile, one-to-one association is there. Now, a user can be associated to only one profile. That is, user to profile is one-to-one association. User to profile is one-to-one association. Now assume that for the sales people, I want to make only the sales application, and along with that some custom objects here. Now I have only one salesperson. For that salesperson, I want to make it visible the sales application and some custom objects, so that I have created a profile. And then this person, I have assigned this profile to the salesperson. Now he is getting the access on only that sales related functionality inside my Salesforce. And recently I have recruited one more salesperson also because my business is keep on growing. So many people are showing interest to purchase my organization products or the services. So that here I'm getting more number of leads. Now at that time, in order to follow up with those leads, in order to contact those leads, one salesperson is not sufficient for me right now. I need few more salespersons as well. So that I have recruited two more salespersons here. Now, at that time, what we can do? He is also the salesperson. So for that here, whatever the access we have granted for the existing salesperson, the same features we need to grant the access to his new person also here. So for that, what happened is, instead of creating one more profile for the second user, we can able to assign the same profile to this user as well. Nothing but all our salespersons, whatever the visibility, whatever the features are required for these people, we can able to grant the visibility inside the profile, and then we can assign that profile to these users as well. So now, when coming to the profile to user here, a profile can be assigned to one or more users. That is, profile to user is one to many association. One profile can be get assigned to multiple users as well. So now simply one sentence we can say, profile decides profile decides what operations the user can perform inside the Salesforce application. Inside the Salesforce application. So now whenever you are going to be using the profile to create, to assign some visibility to that users, upon creating the user, we have to select the profile. Okay, upon creating the user, we have to select the profile. While creating the user, profile is a mandatory field. Without selecting the profile, we cannot create the user record. Now, as already we have discussed that every profile will be associated with a license. Every profile is associated with a license. It may be a Salesforce license, it may be a platform license, it may be a charter license, it may be a community license or whatever. Now, every profile is associated with a license. Now, so now whenever you are going to be having some Salesforce licenses, already we have discussed about these licenses. Now, Salesforce is providing the 2 Salesforce licenses to you, and along with that, 3 platform licenses to you. Now, between that profile and the license, we have discussed about that functionality in the previous sessions. So now whenever you are creating the profiles, every profile should be associated with a license. Now, when coming to the license is going to be granting the access on some set of features, or also all the features available in our Salesforce application. And from those features, which features you want to make it visible to some set of users, which features you want to make it visible to some different set of users, that we can decide with the help of profiles. Don't assign that license directly to the user, because user will be getting all the accesses, but I want to control the visibility of the access to the users with the help of this profile, so that between that Salesforce application and that user, we are going to be introducing this profile. Now, so now already we have discussed that every profile is associated with a license. That is nothing but the profile to license is one-to-one association. And then when coming to the license, one license can be associated with the multiple profiles also here. One license can be associated with the multiple profiles. That is, license to profile is one-to-many association. Now, when coming to the Salesforce is providing some set of standard profiles to you by default. Salesforce is providing some set of standard profiles to you by default, which can be assigned to one or more users inside your organization. But what are the profiles provided by the Salesforce? Like in our initial sessions itself, we have discussed about that. When coming to the profiles, Salesforce is providing some set of profiles to you by default. Salesforce provides a set of profiles to you by default. Now, those are nothing but the standard profiles and the custom profiles. These are the two types of profiles are available in Salesforce. So now by default, Salesforce is providing some set of profiles to you, which we can able to assign to one or more number of users. So now at that time, whatever the features available inside the profile, all those features we cannot able to configure it in future. In future, we cannot able to configure all the features available inside that profile. Why? Because is standard profiles can be editable up to some extent. Standard profiles can be editable up to some extent. We cannot grant all the features by using that standard profiles given by the Salesforce. Now Salesforce is giving these standard profiles for your sample purpose, nothing but so these kind of features we can able to enable, these kind of permissions we can able to grant with the help of profile this to these users. Now it is always recommended. It is always recommended, but it's not a mandatory rule. It's always recommended. Instead of assigning the standard profiles to your users, it is always recommended to create your own custom profiles and assign that custom profiles to the users. So it is always recommended to create your own custom profiles and then assign these custom profiles to the users. So now for that here by default, Salesforce is providing some set of standard profiles where we cannot able to modify all the features inside that profile. Only some features we can able to modify and the remaining features will not be in editable format. So for that here, we can go with the custom profiles by cloning an existing one. Upon creating a custom profile, we have to select an existing profile to make it clone, and then you can create a clone copy. In that clone copy, we can able to do whatever the changes that you want, whatever the permissions that you want to grant, whatever the application that you want to restrict. Everything we can able to configure inside your custom profile. Custom profile will be belongs to yourself. You are the owner, so you will be having the full control so that we can able to modify whatever the features that you want. Not only up to some extent, you can able to modify all the features available inside that custom profile also. That flexibility will be there. So as a owner of that profile, I will be having the full control on that. I can do whatever I want with that profile. Now, for that here, Salesforce is providing these two types of profiles. Always it is recommended to create your own custom profile by cloning an existing one and assign that profile to that associated users. Now, when coming to the profiles here, what are the profiles that we have created? Or what are the profiles given by the Salesforce? All these profiles will get resides inside an object called as profile object. We have a profile object. Inside that profile object, all the profiles will be getting resides. It may be standard, it may be custom profile, whatever. Every profile will be having some set of permissions can be assigned to one or more users. Nothing but what happened for the user, profile is a parent, user is a child. Okay, for the profile object, for the user object, profile is a parent and the user is a child. For one profile, we are having multiple users available. Now, in this kind of scenario here, okay, in this kind of scenario, when coming to the profile, what we can do with the help of these profiles over here, where exactly the profile came into the picture, now we will see practically over here. And what kind of permissions we can able to grant with the help of profiles, we'll see practically. For example, assume that I'm having my Salesforce application and I'm having my users available. So now assume that I'm having some set of users inside my organization. I'm having some set of users. So now I'm having some set of users available here. So now inside my organization, and I'm having a Salesforce organization. I'm having my Salesforce organization. So this is my Salesforce organization. This is my Salesforce organization. So now inside my Salesforce organization, I'm having so many features are available. Like I'm having some custom applications and standard applications, like a sales application. And then I'm having that marketing application. And then I'm having the call center application. I'm having my own custom application like as the talent management. And then I'm having some story pulse application. And I'm having some pharma application, Merck Pharma. Like that, so many applications are available. And along with that, I'm having some set of custom objects also. I'm having some custom objects, and I'm having a set of Apex classes. I'm having a set of Visualforce pages, and then I'm having a set of record types. I'm having a set of tabs, and all these things. All the features we have configured inside my Salesforce organization here. So now inside my organization, I'm having some set of custom objects are also available. Okay, I'm having some set of custom objects are also available. Now, as part of my organization, I'm having some set of custom objects are also available over here. Now, assume that these are the objects that we have. I'm placing all these things. Assume that this is my Salesforce organization. So now this is my Salesforce organization. And then I'm placing all these things over here. Now, inside my organization, I'm having some set of objects are also available. Like I have few objects. So these are the objects are there. These are the objects available inside my organization. So now here I'm having an account object. I'm having an account object. I'm having my custom object over here. I'm having my opportunity object. And I'm having my other custom objects are also available. I'm having some set of objects are there. So now when coming to these objects, for every object I have assigned some name. Assume that this is an account object. For this object, I have assigned that OWD as private. I have assigned that OWD as private. And then this is my custom object, that is some customer. For this object, I have assigned that OWD as public read only. Public read only. I have granted the public read only. I'm having this contact object. It is having that controlled by parent. It is having that controlled by parent. And next one, I'm having an object called some positions. Position object. Now this position object will be having the visibility as the private. It is having the visibility as private. Now these are the various objects available inside my organization, and for every object we have given these OWD options here. So now here I'm having some set of users inside my organization. I'm having some set of users inside my organization. I'm having few users. Assume that these are the 4 users that we have inside my organization. Now, in this kind of scenario, each and every user is trying to performing some operations inside my Salesforce application, because this is my Salesforce organization. So now this is my Salesforce organization. Now inside my Salesforce organization, every user is trying to performing some operations over here. Now, so now these users are nothing but some development user, testing user, a manager user, customer user, everybody. Now these are the various users are available here. Whenever the users are trying to be performing some operations inside the Salesforce application, first of all, every request has to be get authorized by the Force.com platform. Every request has to be get authorized by the Force.com platform. So now each and every Salesforce organization will be available inside that Force.com platform to you here. Now, so now on top of that, we are having our Force.com platform. We are having our Force.com platform over here. Now let's assume that this is the Force.com platform. This is my Force.com platform. Inside the Force.com platform, you will be having the multiple organizations. Already you are aware of inside that multi-tenant architecture. And now, whenever the user is making a request, okay, whenever the user is making a request to perform some operations inside your Salesforce instance, first of all, every user request has to be get authorized by the Force.com platform itself. Every request has to be get authorized by the Force.com platform itself here. Now, when coming to the user request, how can we authorize by the Force.com platform? Whenever the user is going to be making a request, okay, whenever the user is making a request, nothing but when they click on any of the link, any of the button, automatically Salesforce is going to be forwarding so many details over here, as you are aware of all these details. So now whenever the user is making a request, then the Salesforce is going to be sending that the requested URL, nothing but for which page that you are going to be sending the request to the Salesforce, and your system's IP address, the system's IP address, and along with that, it is going to be sending your organization ID, it is sending your user ID, and along with that, the form data, and along with that, it is going to be sending the details about your operating system details, and your browser information and your session ID, and all this information will be getting forwarded to you here, forwarded to the Salesforce instance. Now, whenever the request is reaching to that first.com platform, first of all, the first.com platform is going to be verifying whether this particular user is a authenticated user or not. For this user, already the session ID has been assigned or not. If the session ID is a valid, then only this user will be getting authorized by the first.com platform. It will be allowing into the enter into that Salesforce or first.com platform. Inside that first.com platform, depends upon that organization ID, okay, which he is having. Now it will be routing this request to that associated Salesforce.com organization ID here. Now inside the first.com platform, you will be having so many organizations are available. Not only for one customer, multiple customers are available. For every customer account is called as a Salesforce.com organization. Now whenever the user is trying to performing the operations inside my object, whenever they are trying to inserting some record or updating some record, deleting some record, in between that user and the Salesforce.com organization, it is going to be introducing the profiles over here. Now it is introducing the profile. So now in between that, you will be having the profiles over here. So now Salesforce is introducing the profiles in between that. Between the user and the Salesforce.com organization, you will be having the profiles. Now these are the profiles will be available to you here. You will be having the profiles. So now what are the profile that we have configured? Like here we are configuring some multiple profiles over here. We can configure multiple profiles. Like this is sales profile, and this is some marketing profile, and this is some service profile. I'm creating some multiple profiles over here inside my organization. So now here we are having some profiles inside this. This is a sales profile, and this is a marketing profile, and this is a service profile. Service profile. So now whenever the user is trying to performing some operations inside your Salesforce.com organization, by passing through that first.com platform, in between the user and the Salesforce.com organization, we are having a profile. Whenever you are trying to be performing some operation, whenever the user is trying to be inserting some this particular record, he may be inserting the record, he may be updating the records, he may be deleting the records, he may be getting the records, and any operation here, whatever the crude operations he's trying to performing here, at that time, whenever the user is making a request, then at that time, first of all, the request has to be forwarded to the first.com platform. Now the first.com platform is going to be verifying whether this user is having the rights to perform this operation inside this organization or not. It will verify that rights over here. Now, so now when coming to the Salesforce, okay, when coming to the Salesforce, once it has identified whether this user is having the rights inside that organization, then only he can able to perform the operations here. Now each and every user request, whenever the user is making a request, each and every user request will be getting forwarding to that profile itself first. It will be forwarding to that profile. Now, in that profile, Salesforce is going to be verifying whether this user is having the rights to perform this operation or not inside this particular object. If the user is having the rights, then only the profile will be allowing you to perform the operations inside this associated object over here. Or else, if the user is not having the rights to perform this operation, then Salesforce will not allow us to perform that operation inside this object over here. Now, so now for each and every user request here. So now here we are having one more user is available. Now for this user also I'm going to be assigning the same profile. Nothing but a single profile can be getting assigned to one or more number of user also. That flexibility will be available. Now for this user, I'm going to be assigning a different profile. He is a marketing person, so that I'm assigning that marketing profile. So inside that profile, I have granted the visibility to only to that marketing related applications. And then when coming to this particular user, this user is associated with that service profile, nothing but service person who is giving the services to my customer, so that whatever the applications are required to be get accessible for the service people, only those applications I have granted with the help of this profile. So now whenever you are going to be making a request, then as a user, your user cannot able to be interacting with the objects directly. Between that user and the objects, we are having a mediator component called as the profile. Now this is the mediator component inside the profile here. Now in this kind of scenario, what we can do with the help of these profiles here, what operations we can able to perform, and what access we can able to grant with the help of profiles. Now we'll see practically one by one here. So now in this kind of scenario, when coming to the profile, what it will do is, see, suppose for example, assume that, let's take a general scenario. Now assume that when coming to this object, account object OWD is private. Then what it means, when coming to the objects OWD private means what? Whenever the Salesforce user, okay, whenever the user has created a record, then only the record, nothing but only the owner and his manager will be having the access on that record. The other people will not be having the access on the record here. Now, so that only the owner of the record and his manager will be having the access on that record. Other people cannot able to perform the operations on that record. The next one, when coming to the customer record, I have given the public read-only access over here. Okay, public read-only access. Now, so now on this object, okay, on this object, I would like to grant only the read access or read write access both. So now in this kind of scenario, what happened? If the object's OWD is going to be granting the full access to the user, for example, if the object's OWD is like some public read write. So at that time, what happened? These records to be get visible to every user also inside your Salesforce organization. Every user can able to access that record here. But now, with the help of profile, we can able to restrict only these users can able to perform read and write operation. Only these users can able to perform only read operations like that. Even though the OWD is granting the full access to you, but by using profile, we can able to restrict that access here. We can control that access here. Now, the second scenario, if the OWD is granting very basic level of access, okay, if the OWD is granting very basic level of access, then we can able to force the OWD. We can able to force that OWD and we can override that OWD also here from the profile level. Nothing but OWD is going to be granting only the private. Then at that time, we can able to grant the full access with the help of profile also here. That options are available here. Nothing but what happened, always when coming to the profile is going to be overriding that OWD. If the profile is, sorry, if the OWD is granting very full access, nothing but the full access, then the profile will control that access here. If the OWD is granting very basic level of access, then profile will override that OWD. It will be forcefully getting the full access from that here. That flexibility will be available inside that profile. So now when coming to the profile, what kind of permissions we can able to grant? Now let's see practically here. So now when coming to the profile, we can able to grant the visibility on the various accesses. Now what accesses we can able to grant? Now we'll see. Now these are the various accesses we can grant on the profile level. The first one here. By using this profile, we can configure the below features inside that. We can able to grant the visibility on the below features here. Now by using this profile, as inside your Salesforce application, we are having so many things. We are having some custom objects, we're having some custom applications, we're having some record types, and we're having some page layouts. We are having some Apex classes, Visual Force pages, tabs, everything is there. Now, in this kind of scenario, on all these features, we can able to grant the visibility with the help of this profile itself. So now when coming to the profile, what we can able to do with the help of profile, now let's see. By using this profile, we can able to specify what applications to be get visible to the user. Inside my organization, I'm having some 10 applications are there, but for few users, I want to make it accessible only 2 applications. And for your different set of users, I want to make it visible only some 1 application. Like that here, we can able to grant the visibility on the applications to the users as well here. Now by using this profile, we can specify what applications to be get visible to those users. And then what tabs to be get visible to the user. Inside every application, we are having some tabs are available where the tab is going to providing the graphical user interface, which is used to perform some operations inside the object without using any programming. Just by using the declarative, we can able to perform some operations on those objects with the help of these tabs. Now, what tabs to be get visible on the tab bar by default to the users? What tabs the user can able to access? Everything we can able to grant. And after that, inside an object, we are configuring some record types also. Now, what record types the user can able to access here? For every user, which record types to be get visible? And for some users, I want to display the record types when they click on new button to create a new record. For some users, I don't want to display the record type directly, it has to open that form. And for few users, we are having some record type 1, record type 2. At that time, for few users, record type 1 should be the default record type. And then for few users, record type 2 should be the default record type. Nothing but what happened by using that profile, we can able to specify for which set of users you want to make the record types to be get visible, what record types to be get visible, which record type will be the default record type by default, we can able to specify. That options are available inside the profile. And then when coming to the users, what objects to be get visible to the user? What objects to be get visible to the user here? You can able to configure with the help of profile. Even though you may be having some hundreds of objects available inside the Salesforce, but depends upon the user, depends upon his department, we can able to grant the visibility on only those objects which are required to him. The other objects, I don't want to grant the access here. So for that, which objects he can able to access? In that object, what operation he can able to perform? So now for each and every object here, we can able to specify the 6 permissions over here. Salesforce is providing the 6 permissions for every object. The first permission is the read permission. Second permission is create permission. The third one is edit permission. Fourth one is delete permission. Fifth one is view all. And the sixth one is modify all. These are the 6 permissions we can able to grant. Nothing but for every object level, Salesforce is providing these 6 checkboxes to you. It depends upon these checkboxes only, those users will be getting the access on that. If you're selecting only read and create checkbox, then at that time, the user can able to create the record and the user can able to see his record. Even though he will be the owner also, he cannot able to modify, he cannot able to delete that records here. Now, after that, if you want to grant the edit access, nothing but on the edit access on the records, we can able to grant that edit button. And then delete access, we can able to grant. Now depends upon these buttons, checkboxes which you have selected. Based on these checkboxes only, you will be getting the buttons inside that records detail page. Now at that time, we can able to specify these checkboxes here. Now you can able to grant the view all and the modify all. Each and every feature we'll discuss again. Now in detail, we'll discuss practically also. Now after that, what page layouts to be get applicable to the users here? Inside my object, we are creating multiple page layouts also. Then what page layouts to be get accessible to the user here? What general permissions to be applicable to the user? What administrator permissions can be applicable to the user? What system permissions to be get applicable to the user? What session timeout permissions? For every user, we can specify, for every profile, we can specify some different session timeout. For some people, we can able to make that session will be available for 15 minutes. Within that 15 minutes, if the user did not perform any operation, then automatically session will be getting expired. So that the user has to log in again. And then after that, we can specify for few users, we can specify the session timeout period as some 2 hours or half an hour or 1 hour. Depends upon our requirement, we can able to specify that. Now, what session setting timeouts we can able to specify? And what password policies that can be applicable to that user here. And then what Apex classes to be get accessible by the user. What Visualforce pages will be applicable by the user here. And then what login hours to be get applicable to the user. What login IP ranges to be get applicable to the user. So now these are the various options are available when coming to the profile, which we can able to configure. Now we will see each and every option one by one over here. Now, The first option is we can able to grant access on only some applications to this particular user here. So now what applications to be get accessible by the user here? Now let's see practically. How can we cross check that? By using that profile, we can able to grant the visibility on the applications level and the features level, tabs level, record type level, object permissions level, session timeouts permissions level, and the password policies level, Apex classes, Visual First pages, login hours, login IP ranges, everything we can able to grant the visibility on this one. Nothing but these all permissions we can able to collect together as a single component called as profile, and these permissions we can assign to one or more users inside that organization. Now, so now in this kind of scenario, how can we grant the visibility on my applications? Now let's see practically over here. Now, for example here, inside my organization, I'm having some set of users. As already we are having some users inside your organization. Now let's see here. I'm having a set of applications like as talent management, sales, call center, marketing, story pulse, and then app launcher, community, sample, like that. Some set of applications are available. Now, when coming to my applications, I don't want to make all these applications to be get accessible by the users. Only some of the applications can be visible to the user here. Now let's assume that I'm having the user called as development user. When you log in into the development user is associated with that Salesforce license. Now as the Salesforce licensed user, this person can able to access all the standard functionalities and the standard applications given by the Salesforce, as well as all the custom applications and the custom functionalities implemented by the user both. Now, for that here, when coming to this user can able to access each and every application what we have inside your organization, like as call center application, marketing, story pulse, talent management, community, site.com, sample, all the applications are visible. Now, for this user, I want to make only the sales, call center, and the marketing applications to be get visible. Remaining applications should not be visible for this user. Then how can we restrict? Now let's see here. In order to restrict that visibility, go to that user. That user is associated with your profile. Okay, that user is associated with your profile. So now why I'm giving all this list of information is, whenever if you got any requirement to enable or configure this feature, then you have to go with the profile. Now these are the various features which we can able to configure inside the profile. Now we can grant the access on the applications. We can grant the access on the tabs. We can grant the access on the record types, objects, object permissions, profile level. Sorry, that Apex classes level. Everything we can able to grant in the profile level itself. Now, let's see here. Now for this user, I want to grant the access on only the sales, marketing, and the call center. Remaining application should not be visible to this user here. Now for that, go to that user. This is the development user. Now this development user is associated with your profile. Go to his profile over here. This is the profile. Training Salesforce profile. Now, click on that profile name. Now the profile will be getting opened over here. This profile has been opened over here. Now in this profile, it is giving that information to you. Now what page layouts to be get applicable to this user? For every object, what page layouts are available, everything will be getting visible. After that, custom objects layout, field level security, and then custom applications. Nothing but what custom applications to be get visible here. What tabs to be get visible to this user. And what record types to be get visible to the user. And then what administrative permissions to be get visible to the user. And what general permissions to be get visible to the user. And then what object permissions to be get visible to the user. For each and every object, it is providing the 6 checkboxes to you. Read, create, edit, delete, view all, modify all. These are the various permissions are available here. We'll see each and every feature one by one. Now, after that, what custom object permissions to be get visible to the user, what session timer settings will be getting applicable to the user, what password policies to be get applicable to the user, what login hours, login IP ranges, Apex classes, Visual Force pages, external data sources, everything, all these things we can able to configure in one place that is called as profile. That's what here, profile is a container which contains all these permissions together inside a single place. So now for that here, how can we configure this profile? Now let's see practically over here. Now, so now when coming to this profile has been assigned to whom? This profile has been assigned to the development user. Now for this development user, now this user is accessing all the applications inside my Salesforce, but I don't want to make it visible all the application. I want to accessible only one of some few applications over here. Now at that time, click on edit this button, click on the edit button inside the profile. Now it is populating all the custom applications which are available and which are visible to the user by default over here. Now for these applications, you will be having the one checkbox is available, and along with that, you will be having one radio button is available. Now this checkbox is going to be indicating whether this application to be get accessible by the user or not, this profile users. And then this radio button is indicating which application you want to make it as a landing application or the default application. Landing application means what? Whenever the user has been logged into that Salesforce instance by providing his credentials, then which application has to be get visible by default over here. So for that here, we can able to specify that default application also. Now, so now these are the various applications this user can able to access right now. Now, this profile users can able to access the App Launcher, Call Center, Community Application, Marketing Application, Salesforce Charter, Sample, it is my custom application, Sample Console, and the Site.com, Story Pulse application, Talent Management application, everything they can able to access right now over here. Now all the applications you can able to access right now because these checkboxes has been selected over here. These checkboxes selected means nothing but these are the applications the user can able to access. Nothing but these applications to be get visible to those users. Now my requirement is here. I want to grant the access on only these particular applications. So at that time, unselect the checkboxes for which you don't want to give the access on these applications. I want to make only that sales application and the marketing application and the call center application has to be get visible. The remaining application should not be visible to the user. So that unselect those checkboxes here. Community should not be visible. And then charter should not be visible. Content should not be visible. Sample, Site.com, StoryPulse, Talent Management, and Worker.com. Now only 3 applications has to be get visible. The first application is the sales, which is a default application. Next one is the marketing, and the third one is call center. Only these 3 applications I want to make it visible to the user. Now let's select only those checkboxes on which you want to grant the access to this profile users. Now click on save. Now the profile modifications has been done. Now let's log in into that user. Go to the development user login. Now let's expand that applications. He can able to see only those applications over here. Now he will be able to access only that sales application, call center application, and the marketing application. Now only these 3 applications this person can able to access right now here. The other applications are not visible. Now, sometimes I want to make this user to be get accessible only one application over here. Then how can we restrict that? Now let's see practically here. Now if the user is able to access the multiple application, then at that time he will be getting that the pick list over here. Nothing but sales, marketing, call center, everything. The pick list will be available to you over here. Now if you are going to be making that, if you are going to be making only one application to be get visible, then how this look and feel will be available? Now let's see practically here. I want to grant access on only that sales application. The remaining applications should not be visible to this user here. Let's see what will happen in this case. Let's go to his profile. Go to the development user profile. Click on edit button. And select only that sales application. The remaining application, I don't want to make it visible. Now only the sales application to be get visible to the user. Click on save. Now log in into that user, log in as the development user, and when you come to here, there is no pick list available. Okay, there is no pick list is available here. Why pick list is not available? This user is having the access on only one application. This is that application here. So that here he is not having the access on any other application, so that there no need to provide any pick list over here. So for that here, this user cannot able to access any more applications, because here this is the application he is having the access right now here. Like that, we can able to restrict the visibility also here. Now, what applications to be get accessible by this user, we can able to grant the access with the help of that profile itself. In the profile level, we can able to grant the visibility over here. Now came to a requirement here. For example, assume that when coming to the entry point of view, they will raise these kind of questions also. For example, I have a sales profile. In that sales profile, I have granted the visibility on only the sales application. This profile has been assigned to two users. This is a user 1, this is a user 2. Two users are there. Now my requirement is for this user 1, okay, for this user 1, he can able to access only the sales application. And but this user 2 can able to access the sales application as well as the story pulse application also. I want to grant the visibility like this. How can we grant the visibility here? Then what we can do, inside the profile level, if I am granting the access on both the sales and story pulse application, then this profile will be using by both the users, so that these two users will be getting the same access over here. Now inside this profile level, if you're granting the visibility on sales application and the story pulse application, then these two applications are visible to both the users as well, because both the users are associated with the same profile. What are the permissions that you have granted in the profile, the same permissions will be applicable to all the users who are associated with this profile. But my requirement is here, when coming to the both the users are associated with the same profile, but for one user I want to make only the sales application to be get visible. For the another user I want to make that sales and the story pulse application both to be get visible. Then what we can do? In this kind of scenario, what happened? First of all, we have to grant the base access, nothing but the sales application access in the profile level. Whatever the additional access that you want, we can able to grant with the help of a feature called as permission set. Okay, permission set, nothing but on top of that OWD we are having the profile, on top of that profile we are having that permission set. By using that permission set, we can able to extend the permissions which we have granted through the profile. What are the permissions we have granted through the OWD? These are going to be overriding with the help of profile. And what are the permissions we have granted in the profile? If you want to extend those permissions, we are having one more higher level that is called as the permission set. So now in this case, what happened is we have to grant the sales application access by using the profile, so that both the people will be getting that sales application access, and we have to create a permission set to grant the access on that story pulse, and that permission set can be assigned to only this particular user over here. So now this kind of requirements will be available to you. Now after this profiles, we'll see what exactly the permission sets over there. Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Firoz, why can't we create one more profile and assign to the user 2?
Yes, we can assign that. But what happened is, if you're maintaining multiple profiles, it will be very difficult to manage those things. Managing the things is very, very difficult. Suppose, for example, in future, I got a requirement. From the customer that he wants me to grant the access on that, the another feature as well. Then what we need to do, these two persons are related to the sales people only here. So that we have to do the changes in that profile 1, we have to do the changes in the profile 2 also. Because for this, both the users have assigned two different profiles here. At that time, we have to do the changes in the multiple profiles also. So for that here, it is a very risky process to us. So for that here, always we have to make it as generic. Instead of making the multiple copies, we can able to maintain only one thing. Okay. So for that here, we are maintaining only one profile, and we are going to be granting the additional accesses based on the requirement with the help of the permission set. Now, so now for that here, we can able to grant the visibility on that only this particular applications to these users. Now let's see. So now here, I would like to grant the visibility on the both the sales application and the talent management application also. I want to grant the access on the talent management application also, Story Pulse application also. And along with that, I would like to grant the access on the marketing application. Now these are the four applications to be get visible to this user. Now let's save this one. Only these applications he can able to access right now. Go to the users, log in as the development user. Now he will be getting the access on sales, marketing, Story Pulse, and the talent management. What are the applications on which we have granted the access? Only those applications to be get visible to this user. Other applications he cannot able to access right now. So this is a way we can able to grant what applications to be get accessible by this user here. Depends upon the profile of that user. Whenever if anybody asks you to grant the access to this particular feature for this user, then go to that user and then go to the user's profile. In that profile, we can able to grant the access here. Now, before that, cross-check that whether that profile has been assigned to any other users or not. Now, you have to check two things here. The first scenario is, now do you want me to grant the same access to all the users inside the profile, or do you want me to grant the access to only this particular user here? At that time, if you want to grant the access to all the users inside the profile, then go with the profile level and grant the access here. If you want to grant the access on this particular feature to only this particular specific user, then go with the permission set. Don't go with the profile, because if you're granting with the profile level, then that will be applicable to all the users, but not to all the users. I want to grant to only one specific user or two specific users. So at that time, go with the permission set, create one additional permission set and assign that permission set to that particular users to whomever you want to grant that access here. Now for that here depends upon the scenario. Okay, you have to check these two things mandatorily whenever you got a requirement. Okay, check whether this will be applicable to all the users in the profile or this will be only to the specific user here. If it is specific to the user, then go with that permission set. If it is all users in the profile, go with that profile level. Now, the second feature here. So now by using this profile, we can able to grant the visibility on the tabs also here. So now what tabs to be get visible to the users here? Okay, what tabs to be get visible to the users? So now whenever you are going to be granting the access on the tabs, now for every tab, it is going to be providing the three options to you. Now each and every tab will be having the three options here available. First one is default on, and the second one is default off, and the third one is tab hidden. So now these are the three options available for every tab inside your Salesforce. For every object, we are having a tab. The tab is nothing but a graphical user interfaces used to manage the records inside that object. It may be to create the records, to modify the records, to delete the records, to view the records, or whatever. We can perform all these four basic manipulations on the records with the help of the tab itself. Now in the tab, for every tab, Salesforce is providing three options to you. Default on, default off, tab hidden. So what do you mean by this default on? Whenever you are making the default on, then the tab will be visible on the tab bar by default. In the profile level, whenever you are making that object's tab option default on, at that time, this object tab will be visible to you on the tab bar by default for these profile users. Whenever those profile users are accessing the Salesforce application, this tab will be visible by default on the tab bar. Now, the second option here, default off. Default off means the tab will not be visible on the tab bar, but we can add the tab on the tab bar by using plus button. Nothing but this is a all tabs. Okay, this is available in all tabs here. See, for example, whenever you are having the tabs available here. Now these tabs are available by default on the tab bar to you. These are the tabs are available on the tab bar. And along with that, we are having some more tabs are also available, but those tabs are not visible on the tab bar because of the lack of the space. If you want to see those tabs, then what we can do, we have to go with that plus symbol. Plus symbol means what? All tabs. When you excuse me, when you click on this plus symbol, it is going to be providing all the tabs to you which are available inside your Salesforce instance. Now, these are the various tabs are available. Then we can able to customize these tabs by using customize my tabs button. We can make it add on the tab bar also. That flexibility will be available to you. Now, whenever you are going to be making that objects tab setting as default on, by default, this tab will be getting visible to you on the tab bar. And if you're making that objects tab setting as default off, then at that time, the tab will not be visible to you on the tab bar by default, but we can able to add that tab by using that plus button on that tab bar here. And the third option here, default tab hidden. Now, the tab will not be visible to the user. Tab will not be visible to the user here. Nothing but what happened, this user is not having the access on this tab. So that he cannot create any record, he cannot modify any record, he cannot delete any record, he cannot view any record inside that object here. Nothing but for the users, we are not granting the permission to the programming, because the customers or the end users and the partners, these people are not having the access on our programming part. They cannot able to execute any programming here. They have to access the application through the graphical user interface only. At that time, we are going to be making the tab as hidden so that the tab cannot be visible to you on the tab bar, and the tab will not be visible to you inside the all tabs also. So that nothing but that means this user is not having the access on this graphical user interface, so that he cannot create the records inside that object, he cannot modify, he cannot delete, he cannot view the records also through these graphical user interfaces. So now in this kind of scenario here, for each and every tab, we can able to grant the access as default on, default off, and the tab hidden. These are the three options are available. Now let's see here. Go to that practically. So now go to that user and go to that user's profile. Now in that profile, click on edit button. Go to the tab settings. You will be having the tab settings. Now here, we are having so many objects are available. Like whatever the objects are available, all the object names has been getting populated here. These are only the standard objects. These are only the standard objects. These are the standard objects. For every object, you will be having the tab is available here. Let's see what options are available. We are having tab hidden, default off, default on. These are the three options are available for each and every tab. Now, when you expand anything here, you will be having these three options: default on, default off, and the tab hidden. So that here, by using these options, we can able to enable and disable the tabs to be get accessible by these users. Now, this is for the standard object tabs here. Now, for my custom objects, we have created some tabs. These custom object tabs are also available. When you go to that custom object tabs, custom tab settings. Now, for the customer object, hiring manager object, position object also, you will be having these tabs. Now, on these tabs, what level of access that you want to grant? Default on, default off, tab hidden. Now here, we are having these three options are available over here. For each and every object tab, you will be having these three options here. Now, whenever if you want to make this tab to be get visible on the tab bar, then make that option as default on. If you don't want to make it visible on the tab bar by default, upon the necessity, they can able to add on the tab bar by using customize my tabs button, then at that time make it as default off. And the tab hidden means this user cannot able to access the tab will not be visible to him at all here. These are the options are available. The next one, the third permission is record types. What record types to be get visible to the user over here? Okay, what record types to be get visible to the user. So now by using this one, we can configure what record types to be visible to the user. Okay, what record types to be get visible to the user, and then we can configure the default record type for the object. The default record type for the object over here. So now in this kind of scenario here, by using that profile, we can able to configure what record types to be get visible to the user, and from those record type, which record type will be the default record type for these users. Now let's see practically here. Now these are the two options we can able to configure over here. Now when you go to the record types, now go to the record types settings section. Go to the record types settings section. Now observe this one. Whenever the user is trying to log in, nothing but whenever this particular development user is trying to log in, for this account object, he is having the two record types are available here. New customer type, this is the default record type, and the second one is the existing customer type, this is the secondary, nothing but the next record type. Two record types are available over here. Now, in this case, if you want to make this existing customer record type as the default one, okay, if you want to make this existing customer record type as a default one, then how can we make it visible here? Now let's see practically here. If you want to make this existing record customer type as a default one, just to go to that account object here. Now beside that, you will be having that edit button. Click on that edit link. It is going to be providing that these are the two record types are available: existing customer record type, new customer record type. When you come down here, you will be having the default record type option. Which record type you want to make it as default over here? Okay, which record type you want to make it as default record type? Now we can able to specify this particular record type over here. Now here from this default one, you can select that existing customer record type. I want to make that existing customer record type as the default one. Now let's save this one. Now here for these users, nothing but the development user will be having the existing customer type record type is the default one. Login as this one. Login as the development user. When he click on account, new button, existing customer type will be the default record type. Okay, here the default record type is available here. Now, for the other users, these other users are associated with the another profile here. Nothing but development user is associated with the Salesforce profile, and the remaining three users are associated with that platform profile. When you go to that remaining users, nothing but the manager user. I have logged in as manager user. He is associated with a different profile. When you click on my customers, when he click on new button, he is getting that new customer type is the default one. Nothing but what happened by using that profile level, we can able to specify what record types to be get visible, and then what record type will be the default record type for these users. We'll see practically over here also here. Now, so now for this user, it is going to making that the new customer type is the default record type. Now, another user here. Another user is what? The customer user is associated with the platform profile. So that when the user is trying to be performing the creating a new account record, now the new customer type is the default one. Because in the profile level, we have specified, now these are the two record types to be get visible to all these profile users. And so that these same features are applicable to over there. Now, so now my requirement is here. When coming to the development user no need to select any profile. Directly when they click on new button, automatically it has to be open that form here. For the remaining users, nothing but the customer user, manager user, and the testing user, these people should be create the records by selecting the profile over there. Now, in this kind of scenario, how can we do that one here? Now, for the development user, the default record type is for the account object, that is existing customer record type. I don't want to make record types to be get visible for these users. Go to that particular user, go to the profile of that user. In that profile, go to the record types settings section. Record type settings section. Click on edit button for the account object. I don't want to make it visible any record type over here. So that remove these two record types. Remove these two record types. And then make that record type master as the label default here. Already I told you here, by default, Salesforce is providing one record type for every object that is called as master. Master is a default record type. Now, the default as a master. When you click on save, now the configurations has been saved successfully. Now go to the users. I'm logging as other users right now here. I'm logging as that customer user. Customer users are associated with the different profile. So that here, these people will be getting the access on the record types. When you click on login as the customer user, go to that my customers, click on new, they will be getting that record type selection. They can able to pass through the record types over here. Now, when you go to that development user now, this user is associated with the Salesforce profile right now here. Login as the development user. Now, when you click on new account record, when you click on new, directly it is opening the form here. There is no record type selection. Nothing but what happened for few users, we can able to force the user to select the record type, and for a few users, no need to select the record type directly. They can able to jump into that form itself to enter the data inside that objects. So now here, this is the way we can able to configure the record types. By using the record types, we can able to grant what record types to be get visible to the user, and then which record type will be the default record type for that users. We can able to grant all these permissions also. And then the next feature here, what objects to be get visible to the user here. In order to grant the visibility on that object level, okay, in order to grant the visibility on the object level, then we have to go to that object settings inside that Salesforce. Okay, now let's see. For that development user, go to that profile. You will be having that object settings. Click on edit button. Now you will be having that object settings are available here. Now this is the standard object permissions and then custom object permissions also both. Now on which objects you would like to grant the access over here, you can able to configure. These are the various standard objects are available, and we are having the custom objects are also. Now for every object, Salesforce is granting the 6 accesses on that object: read, create, edit, and the delete, and the view all and the modify all. These are the 6 checkboxes are available for each and every object over here. Now in this case, depends upon the checkboxes that we have selected, only those buttons will be getting enabled for that user here. Only those buttons to be get enabled for that users inside that organization. Now, previously we have discussed, like we have granted the permission by using that sharing settings, where we have granted either read-only access or we have granted the read-write access also. So now in this kind of scenario, whenever the user is having read-only access, then at that time, I don't want to make it visible that edit button and the delete button here. If the buttons are available, then definitely the user will try to click on the button to perform that operations here. So now in this case, what happened? If the user is not having the rights on that particular object to edit and to delete, then I don't want to make that buttons to be get visible over there. So now in this kind of scenario here, okay, in this kind of scenario, I want to remove those 2 buttons from that particular layout. Then how can we remove the buttons from the layout here? So at that time, what are the checkboxes that you have selected? Okay, inside this object level, in the permission level, now whatever the object checkboxes that you have selected over here, depends upon the checkboxes, it is making that buttons to be get visible. Now, if you're not having any checkboxes, if you're not selecting any checkboxes here, for example, for this user, I'm not granting the access on the position object over here. So now for this user in the position object level, I'm not granting any access so that this user will not be getting the access on that object here. Let me show you practically here. Let's verify this user whether this person is able to access my position object or not. Login as the development user because he is the associated with the Salesforce profile. Login as the development user. Now when you come to these objects, now whenever you are having these objects, now he cannot able to access those objects here. When you click on talent management, it is providing that standard objects, but it is not providing the access on that position and the hiring manager and the customer here. Now in this kind of scenario, what we can do over here? If you're not having the access on that object level, then the associated tab also will not be visible to you over here on the tab bar. When you click on that plus, in order to make those tabs to be get visible, then those custom object tabs will not be visible to you over here. You cannot able to see those tabs also because the tab is associated with an object. If you're not having the object access on the object level, then you cannot access that associated components also. So for that here, this user will not be having the access on that object level. Now I want to grant the access on that one of the object over here. Now let's go to his profile, open that user, go to his profile, click on edit button. I want to grant the access on the hiring manager object here. I'm granting the access on hiring manager objects. Now what access I'm granting right now? Just I'm going to be granting the access on read and the create. Okay, read and the create. Nothing but he can able to see the records which he has created and he can able to create some records also over here. Now observe this one here. Now here I'm giving that options to you. Let's see. Whenever I'm selecting the create checkbox, observe what will happen. Read is also getting selected. Why? Because is once you create the record, after entering the data, when you click on save button, what will happen? It will be saving the record into that associated object, and then it will be redirecting the user to the detail page. Nothing but he can able to see the record which he has created. That's what here it is selecting that read access also by default when you select that create checkbox. Now I want to grant only read and create access here. Now let's see what will happen in this case. I'm not granting the edit and the delete access over here. Now let's save these settings. Now login as that user. Click on view users. Login as that development user. Now he is getting that access on that hiring manager tab also right now. When you click on that, he cannot able to see the other people's record. He can able to see only his records. When you click on go, now these records are available over here. Okay, these records are available over here. Now if he wants to create the new record, then click on new hiring manager, enter the details over here. Like as sample tester record, I'm entering the contact number and the location is some Bangalore. Email ID is some sample at some gmail.com. I have entered the data here. When you click on save button to create that record, the record will be saving here. Now you will be getting only that clone access. You are not having the rights to modify the record. You are not having the rights to delete the record because in the object level itself, they have removed that permission over here. In the object level itself, they have removed the permission over here. We cannot able to modify, we cannot able to delete that record over here. So now whenever you are trying to performing that modification, now here in the page level also, you will not be getting that inline editing access over here. You will not be getting that inline editing access. Just if you want to create one more record with the same details, then we can able to clone it and create your own record, but you cannot able to modify those records as well here. So for that here, if you want to remove the buttons from the page layout level, then we have to go with that profile. In that profile, go to that object level permissions. In that object level permissions, 6 checkboxes are available. Depends upon the button which you want to remove, we can able to specify that here. Now, for this user here, I want to grant the access on the edit permission also, but I don't want to grant the delete permission here. Then what we can do? Go to his profile. In that profile, click on his profile. Click on edit button and select the edit checkbox also here on this object. Every object level, we can grant the different permissions over here. Now here I'm selecting the edit checkbox also over here right now. Now let's save it. Log in as this user now. Click on view users. Now development user is using this profile. Log in as a development user. Open any of the record right now. Now he will be getting that edit button is also visible to him. Now, depends upon the requirement here, what access that you want to grant, we can able to specify those permissions with the help of that profile level itself. Now, in this kind of scenario here, when coming to this user, he is going to be accessing those records over here, and then he can able to create the record, he can able to modify the record. When he click on edit button, he can able to modify the record values as well. I'm changing the value from Bangalore to some Mumbai. I'm saving this record. But he cannot able to remove the record from that instance because he is not having the rights in the profile level. So now this is a way we can able to grant the visibility on the object level to these users over here. Now, clear? So now here in that object level, we are going to be giving the permissions over here. Now in tomorrow's session, we'll see how can we grant these permissions like as a view all and the modify all. What is the use of this view all and the modify all? We'll see practically. And then we are going to be discussing about the remaining options along with the permission sets also. Tomorrow morning, we will be having the session as it is at the same time. I will take up the session so that we will continue.